Hello everyone! Happy Wednesday. I've been trying to figure out all day what day it is. I've been so confused. But I've been thinking a lot about, what are some of people's biggest blunders. And really it's like stress, time, feeling overwhelmed, unprepared. And I wanted to just share a couple of the things that have been helping me out, and kind of feeling less overwhelmed and like I can get through the day. One is this tea, which smells like a loaf of like lemon pound cake, and it is amazing. It's like my new favorite. They got me at Target. I was walking by and my kids were a little bit crazy, and I got this like huge whiff of this tea, and I just like had to have it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is like the most amazing calming smell. And especially because, like I'm trying to avoid, all these extra sweets, so I can kind of like smell like I have the sweets, but I don't actually have to consume it. So I think it's like Tao or Tao, something with a T. That's the brand name for the tea. And it's this lemon cake. I don't know what it is, but it's delicious. It's so good. So I just wanted to come and share a couple of really fun tips that apply really both to meal prepping and for makeup. And it just kind of helps make my life easier, get out the door faster, not have to worry so much. And it really takes a little bit of planning. So when people hear the word meal prep, they think like hours and hours in the kitchen, and it's really not like that. So here's a couple of things that you can apply that will help you with meal prep that also apply to makeup. And I'm going to show you a couple of those basics for makeup as well. So say hi when you jump on. Let me know what you guys are up to tonight. Of course, I know it's getting late because I'm almost ready for bed too. But just wanted to pop on and share just a few minutes. So good. Okay, so I have four ways to help make makeup life easier and meal prep easier. And more simple, because really it's not as complicated as it sounds for either thing. So I just wanted to share a couple of those. So number one is to evaluate. So the biggest hindrance to success in any situation, but in these particular instances, is not really knowing what you have at your disposal or what you can do. So if I'm saying, okay, I have, a couple core products, maybe an eyeshadow color, maybe a lip product, kind of figuring out what you have, the lay of the land. Same thing when you're cooking. I always kind of look at some staples, like what do I have? Do I have eggs? Do I have meat? Do I have vegetables? Kind of look for those basics things like olive oil. One of those things that I always like think that I have and then I don't, so then I buy more and then I have too much. But you can always use, a good olive oil. Same thing with, some of the makeup products. One thing that I recommend for people is to have like our cream shadows that you can use as eyebrows. You can use as lips, contouring, a million different things that are really great for that. So if you understand what you can substitute, a lot of times I like to substitute avocado into things depending on the consistency that's required. So the other day I made with a veggie pasta, kind of like a tuna veggie pasta, and one, the vegetables help, but two, I used avocado instead of the mayo. So you still get that, creamy consistency. It's also great for a pesto or an Alfredo type consistency. And avocado really just takes on the flavor of whatever you put it in. So you don't have to be worried about adding extra flavor there. So there's a super quick eyebrow, you guys, and I'm just using the Faithful Cream Shadow. This is one of my favorites. I'm losing my voice. But one of those basics, you want to have some of those basics that can do multiple things. It's the best way to kind of spread out your makeup collection, or, save you some money in having products that do multiple things. I mean, staples like chicken, you could do a brown rice. You can make a variety of things with brown rice, red potatoes, sweet potatoes, that don't cost a lot. I do a lot with cherry tomatoes because I make them with my salads, in, you know, stir fry, and, you know, a whole bunch of different things. So you can use it for multiple things. I always have romaine, so I can always make salads. And then I can kind of mix and match. So having some of those staples, you know, maybe you're an onion person, the avocados, tomatoes, some of those staples that you can always add into your meals. Evaluate everything that you have, whether it be makeup or meals. The second one, oh, it feels so good in my throat, are tools. So you want to have the right tools, okay? Like imagine like trying to open something, you don't have a can opener, you don't have a knife, or it's not sharp. Like slicing vegetables without a knife is so not fun when you have a knife that's not sharp. You don't need a ton. You could have a ton, and a lot of people have preferences over what they like. But really, you know, things like this, like a dual-sided brush that offer you, you know, 2 ways to use it. These are great, great tools. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get them anywhere. Same thing with your cooking utensils. You want to have things like the cutting board and knives and a whisk, you know, a spatula, you know, things that are kind of core to creating a meal. I mean, I would say that you could maybe get away with like 6 tools tops and be able to pretty much make everything that you need. So make sure you have the right tools, because that's what's going to create the right outcome for you. So whether it be your kitchen utensils or your makeup utensils, having a couple core ones that you can use multiple different ways are key. Excuse me. The other thing that I caution is to clean them. So we just got this in, is our new brush cleaner that was an exclusive Black Friday offer. I think that's something. I do have a couple, so if you're not in my VIP group, make sure to click VIP me, because I will be having some extras that you guys can snag. I don't know what the technical term is, but this one doesn't have water base in it, so it is not going to dry out your brushes. Okay, so we're going to just use this for example. You can see that there's still color on it, even when I'm like thinking it's clean. So I'm just going to spray this. 2 quick sprays, and we'll let it dry. Look at how much color that just pulled out. This was like what we thought was clean. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So either way, you want to make sure to keep your tools clean, you know, whether it be your kitchen or your makeup brushes. You know, bacteria spreads. It gets all over the place. Look at this. And it's like dry. Like I can go and get ready and apply this with something. This is my first time using it. I literally just pulled it out. Our amazing delivery person just dropped it off not that long ago. So this brush cleaner is stellar. Man, I hope they bring this back. It's amazing. It's like, it's already dry and it's like legit clean. Like no more waiting all night. So exciting. Okay, so let's talk about the basics. Number 3 to successful meal prepping and makeup is the basics. Okay, you don't need a ton. I have a ton, so I can show you all of the options, but I don't use a ton. Okay, you just need a couple. So when I look at eyes, I always tell someone it's great to have a foundation that matches your skin color, a light, medium, dark eyeshadow, for me eyebrows, which often is one of my shadows, and a good mascara and lip product. So you can kind of have a full look that you can do a bunch of different things with. You know, basics in my kitchen, like I always have chicken, always have chicken. We always have venison, which is, you know, more of Ryan's favorite. And then being able to know how to apply some of those basics, you know, making sure that you can adequately cook chicken, you know, the right chicken temperature. Being able to saute, you know, without burning things, not using too high of heat, you know, some really, really basic cooking skills that allow you to mix, you know, what can you mix with, you know, a spoon or a whisk or what have you. You know, a lot of crock pot meals. So a lot of times what I do is use these containers, which I got from Costco. They are fantastic. I think there's probably 20 of them in this container. Okay. Well, they don't dump this all. So I literally will prep 5 salads for my week, like shred up a bunch of lettuce, and I had leftover ham, cut up a bunch of vegetables. Some had peppers, some had carrots, some had tomatoes. I'll do a Greek one with like onions and cucumbers and tomatoes and do some vinaigrette dressing. But I literally prep all 5 of these in like 30 minutes, and I have a salad every single day for work. Of course you can mix and match and you can make some other meals, but these are my quick go-to. I literally have them all set and I grab them out and head to work. It's so simple. It's the basics. There's like, you know, 6 ingredients that I just mix and match around, or whatever I have. If I'm, you know, made a stir fry or something and I had leftover, I always have chicken, so I just throw those together and there you go. Then I have a new meal. So when it comes to makeup, I say same thing. Grab a couple basics, light, medium, and dark, and you can do pretty much anything you want. Here's just 3 examples. So right now we have a special on 3 Splurge Cream Shadows. These are my favorite. The way that they sound, I guarantee you're not like jumping right now if you haven't used them, but they dry to a powder and then they stay all day. I just took off my makeup from 6:30 this morning and I worked out, and so I didn't have to apply it all day. It stayed. It was perfect. So I'm going to show you real quick a couple ways to do this. You could start out and use, you know, the 2 darker shades and keep something a little bit more smoky, or you could do a little bit more blended look. So I'm going to use this Hopeful, and I'm just going to show you guys real quick 2 options. This is all about the basics, a light, medium, dark. You know, there's shades that have hints of purple, there's shades that have hints of other things like that if you really want to, you know, get into a different color scheme. There's even like a really light nude cream color. Okay, so really, really loosely apply that to the eye, just kind of pack it in. The cool thing about these is that you really don't need to know a whole lot. You can blend, they blend so easily. It's just amazing. All right, so I'm going to use Grateful, which is the middle. This is going to be our medium color in this look. And I'm just kind of brushing it in the corner here, okay? And I'm just kind of pulling it in. And it's basically like mid-eye. Now, it's a very, very medium color, but you can obviously see where the contrast is. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with a little bit darker color and a different brush. And we're going to just darken this up. This would be kind of that 1, 2, 3 look, which can be done a variety of different ways. But this is just a real simple one. I like to kind of darken up along the edge of my eye just to get more of that color in the lash line. And then I just do a V. So this kind of graduates the color out. And for me, this gives it more shape, but it also gives it more dimension for anyone that has this kind of contrast. Okay? So that's a real basic, and then you can blend it into the other color. It dries fairly quickly, so it's very easy to work with, very fast. Okay? Very, very easy, light, smoky eye. The other way you can do this is doing this all over in the crease. Okay, so you have that neutral eye color. Okay, and then going back and doing the dark all over the lid. So there's 2 totally different looks that you can do with one set of colors. I'm just kind of brushing it up into that lid. Up to the crease, but not past it. Grab a little more. These will last you forever. I literally have not replaced a single Splurge Cream Shadow in a 1.5 years. But I just keep getting all of them because they're amazing. Okay? So I'm going to give that 1 second, and then I'm just going to come in with a little bit thicker, denser a brush, and then just kind of buff out that line. So remember, these blend to a powder, so they're super easy to work with. Like, you almost like can't screw these up. Okay, so you get a real kind of like graduated dark into the light, okay? Basics. Some of the other basics that I always have are a good foundation and a mascara. So this is our Epic Mascara. Huge tube. You don't need very much, and it separates every single little lash. Look at that. I have a lot of basics. Like I said, I always have chicken. I always have like my protein powder. I always have eggs. Things that I can easily make multiple things from. Even for my family, you know, I can throw potatoes or pasta with anything and mix and match. Having a few staples like the olive oil. I always have balsamic vinegar. I always have Italian dressing. I love Italian dressing. What are some of your staples? What do you guys have as far as staples? Look at that. Whoa! I do a lot of meal prepping for the week with our supper time routines as well, because it saves everybody so much money and time and stress. Like, I can literally grab it and go, throw it in the crock pot in the morning, and it's ready when we get home. Or I have, you know, a 20-minute baking session without any of the prep, which is huge. So Epic Mascara, okay, even if you did nothing on your eyes as far as a shadow, holy cow, right? And I have really short lashes. That's crazy. I'm going to use our foundation, making sure that you have the right color. The right things, whether it's tools, are kind of a huge deal. The last thing is about quality, okay? So when people look at costs of, you know, say a program or a product, they look at the financial part of that, okay? Just the financial part of it. And what happens is you don't take into consideration quality, time, the things that it saves you outside of financial. For me, stress, that's huge. Time, that's huge. You know, my time can be better spent, you know, going and seeing my kids, you know, band concerts and, you know, it's just spending quality time with them rather than, you know, sitting around trying to make supper for an hour and then get everybody ready for bed, right? So time is huge. If I have, you know, a few core products that I spend a little bit more money on, but I can make multiple things from them and, you know, prep everything in advance. I mean, I honestly spend 2 hours tops on a weekend getting everything ready from, you know, cutting, cooking, prepping, packaging, all that stuff. And then the rest of the week, it's like easy breezy and so simple. So I have kind of a makeup and meal prep class coming up on December 17th. It'll be from 12 to 2. We've got 2 different meal plans that you could choose from. One's easy crock pot recipes, and the other is going to be some family favorites. And both are super, super great options. They offer a number of meals. I typically will double my recipes so I can have them. We just finished the one that I did, I think, in September, not that long ago. And so I really, you know, would encourage you to check that out. You can, there's 2 different like payment options. Like, you could have us grocery shop for you and just come and show up, or we could also give you the supplies that you need, and then you can bring what you need for the actual food part of it. So 2 great options. Message me if you're interested. Just hit meal plan below and I'll make sure you get invited to that. But it's coming up really fast. We'll have to order soon. But it'll be a great opportunity for you guys to learn a little bit more about meal prepping, be able to walk away with some meals, not worry about holiday time coming up. You know, the thing is, the quality with product, it tastes better, you know, when it comes to food. It lasts longer with, you know, the makeup and stuff. You need so little of it that all the costs really outweigh everything else. So you may be able to use a drop of the foundation. Like, this foundation, you know, is more expensive than the drugstore, yes, but the coverage is amazing and it'll last you much, much longer. I also like to find dual purposes for things. And I love sharing those with people as well. You know, so this could be a lipstick or it could be a blush. It just offers a tiny bit of color, right? This also makes a good eyeshadow. Just a little bit of color. There's a lot of multi-use products. Same with the splurge. It can be added. Like these pink sparkles could be a lip shimmer. Okay, so lots of ways to combine things, you know, whether it's meal prepping or makeup, they're very, very similar in what you want to do. You want to evaluate what you have, make sure you know what some of the options are, how you can mix and match or use products in multiple ways. You want to have the right tools. You know, maybe it's the crock pot that you need, or something to mix and match, to measure your food, or just a couple dual-sided brushes so you can accomplish more than one look. Get the basics. Make sure to have basics, things that you could do more than once. Like I said, a light, medium, dark when you're coming to shadows is a great place to start with the makeup. But making sure you have some sort of meat and vegetable that you like, whether, you know, it's peas or green beans or asparagus, you know, have a couple options that you like so you can kind of mix and match recipes and not always have the same flavor. And lastly, quality matters. So remember, you know, if you're adding like sauces or, you know, any sort of flavoring, having a higher quality product will make sure you use less, but still have that flavor that you're looking for. Same thing with product. You can use a lot less product with makeup, with quality cosmetics, and not have to overspend. So you might spend a little bit more up front, but when, example, I meal plan, and I prep that out, I could get all of our meals down to like $10 or less for a family of 4 plus leftovers, okay? So if you go to Subway, like you could easily spend $10 on yourself, right? Like if I go and bring my 2 kids, it's like 20 bucks, no problem. You know, so it's a really great way to kind of help you really cut costs and save in the long run. So I hope you guys appreciated this. Make sure to just tone it down, look for the basics. Meal planning is such an important tool that we have at our disposal with just a little bit of prep that you can really make your week so much easier. Stay on a healthier plan, make it the easier choice to grab and go with those things. You know, and when it comes to your makeup, keep it simple. You know, let me help you find a few core products that you can use multiple different ways. I love doing consultations with people. One, to help them understand what some of the options are, and 2, to help them keep it simple. We don't want to spend more than 5 minutes in the morning getting ready so we can get out the door. I was excited to get my hair straightened today. Like, I haven't done that forever. So when we have extra time, it's just amazing. So let me know if I can answer any questions for you about the meal prep side or the makeup side. But I hope you guys give it a second thought and give yourself an opportunity to give it a try. It takes a little bit of practice. The first time is not always the easiest, but it gets easier and so much simpler, and it just saves so much heartache and stress in the long run. So thanks for listening, you guys. Have a great night.